you could have someone give you the how-tos on how to overcome these obstacles that you could then go run like the wind. So if you're thinking of those, take a few minutes while we get started. I know that Julie's going to kick this off here in a second, but start thinking about some of that stuff now.
Thank you. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to our Zoom. And we're just about ready to get started. Send out a couple quick text messages to your team if you don't see them on.
Is Jerry on?
What's going on, Barbara Dickey? How are you doing this evening? We got Anne Marie. I can see I can see her glasses. They're very nice glasses. There she is. Hey. Tammy McKenzie, thanks for being on. Hope you're having a beautiful start to your week. Sheila, I'm not even going to try to pronounce your last name. Corn something. Corn is too small. Cornigy?
Cornigy, yes, sir.
I like it. All right, that's what I was going to say. That was what I was going to say. Perfect. Good. Thank you for being on.
Thanks.
Team Brave. I like that name.
It's Stephanie and Stuart Heisman.
Yeah, what's going on? I was about to say,
Hey.
you guys are way too familiar faces.
Yeah.
To be, I'm like, wait a minute, that's a face I know. What's going on, guys?
Thanks for joining us tonight.
Yeah.
Oh, it's my pleasure. I'm so excited to be chatting. I'm so glad you guys are here and going to be participating. We're going to have a lot of fun.
We're excited.
Oh, I'm glad. Me too. Me too. Who else is on
Text
here?
your team.
Barbara Beggs. How are you,
Yep.
dear?
Do you remember?
Oh, you got muted out.
Do you remember me sitting next to you on the plane?
I do remember you sitting next to me on the plane. How are you, dear? It's good to see you again.
I'm good. Good to see you too.
We had some fun times. There was someone else that was sitting right next to you that was a distributor as well, right?
Yeah. Oh.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't there someone right next to you?
Yes, yeah.
Yes.
And she was as well, right?
Yep. Now it's all coming back. It's all coming back. I love it. Welcome to the call. Thanks for being here.
Yeah, you bet. I'm gonna turn my
Karen Massey and a beautiful, amazing, handsome looking boy there with some killer glasses. What's going on, buddy? You're famous. You're a rock star. We're gonna have you do the meeting tonight. I hope you're prepared. Oh, well, I'm glad that you guys are all on here. Thank you for taking the time. Like they were saying, send out a text if you can. We're going to have a lot of fun tonight. We're going to try to bring a lot of value to the best of my and everyone else's ability. We're going to have some fun. So for those of you that were brave enough to turn your cameras on, thank you. It was fun to say hi to you guys. I don't blame. Sometimes it's okay to keep it off. Sometimes there's horror stories of people getting out of the shower on Zooms and not realizing that the camera's on. I'll be honest. Keep the camera off if you're getting ready for bed. It's okay. We don't need to see you in your nightie. It's okay. We trust that you're taking notes.
Wow.
But we are going to have some fun tonight.
Yes, we are. And I would like to introduce you, Taylor. I know you know a lot of people here, but it certainly is an honor to have you on here. And I just love your spirit and just how genuine you are and how personable and how you love everybody. That's just what comes out of you, a lot of love. So for those of you who don't know Taylor, he is the Director of New Leader Experience at LifeVantage. And he has an incredible background. He was actually born in this profession. He's the third generation, if I'm right, Taylor. Is that right? Your grandfather.
Correct.
Your grandfather's the one that got it all started in your family.
Grandma, actually, my grandma Patty, she was the matriarch.
Okay, that's awesome. And then most all of us, I'm sure, know your father, Eric Worre. He's been training at our events and and we all have read his book, Go Pro. So it's just a real pleasure to have you on here. And I understand you started at like age 18 in network marketing. And so do you want to give us a little bit of your background, Taylor? And then we're going to start with your questions. But thanks so much for taking the time out to join us. I'm super excited. Glad everybody could be on the call. Just a big welcome to everybody, and welcome to all the new distributors as well. Okay.
Oh, well, thank you so much, Julie, for such a great introduction. It's such an honor to be on with you guys tonight. And I really, like I said just a few minutes ago, I want to make this as purposeful as possible. So while I'm giving you guys a little bit of my background and a little bit of why there's any validity in what it is that I'm going to be telling you this evening, do me a favor. And while I'm telling you my bio, drop in those questions. Let's start getting up on the questions here in the chat. Anyone that has any, it's not questions, it's more, what are your biggest excuses? What are the things that are holding you back in your business from attaining the goals that you'd like to attain? A lot of people have limiting beliefs. They say, you know, if this wasn't this way, to give you guys, you know, if you're wondering, some examples of some questions I've gotten in previous, should I be connecting online daily? How to get distributors engaged in a daily action? Fear of having a bad start. You know, there's in an instant gratification world, I have a hard time sharing because we don't always have instant results. These are some of the questions that I get in some of these Zooms. So I want to take that time right now. If you guys take this time while I'm doing this bio and drop your questions in, I'm going to make a list of all of your questions, and I'm going to try to actually do my best to address all of the questions that are asked of me here in this live tonight. So while you guys are doing that, a little bit about me is just like Julie said, I was born in this profession. I was very, very lucky to be born into this space. And my father was a very successful network marketer pretty much from my birth on. And in the early 1990s, started a television network called TPN, the People's Network, that was completely based around positive programming. This television network had people on it like Jim Rohn, Les Brown, Mark Victor Hansen, Harvey McKay, Zig Ziglar, all of these you know, personal development gurus. And so we were really, I was blessed at a very early age to be surrounded by some of the greatest in our profession, and really learn hands-on from them. From then, I joined my first business at 18 years old, was a brand new distributor. And all right, let's see here. It looks like the chat forum is open and I haven't seen any comments come in just yet. So I'm going to tell you guys now, if you have anything that you want to have addressed in this live, make sure you put it in the chat box so that I can see it. But yeah, 18 years old, I joined a network marketing business, and from then on have spent pretty much 14 years professionally in and around the network marketing space. Was a distributor for about 2.5 years. And then I moved from that space into the corporate world. And for the next decade, spent that next decade pretty much working in and around a bunch of very successful network marketers with multiple companies, helped launch a company. I was the international director of communications for another company. And just about 1.5 years ago now, came to LifeVantage as the director of new leader experience. And to tell you guys, without a doubt, it has been the greatest honor of my life. It has been just everything that I could have expected of it and more. And so are you guys seeing comments on your end that I'm not seeing? Because I'm not seeing any comments come in just yet. And I know that you guys have some, so let's start dropping them. All right, there's a good one. Ken and Tammy, thank you so much. Ken and Tammy said, how to reignite a stalled business. Great topic. How do you address pyramid scheme with naysayers? Another great topic. Come on, you guys. I know you got more out there. Let's hear, what are your limiting beliefs? What are your objections? What do you got going on? Social media are already traditional methods of networking, trying to balance it all with leadership, family, and newbies. I love that. being afraid of hurting the relationship, or being too self-conscious of what they might think, holding me back, intimidation. I love that. Shayla, thank you so much. What a great, great topic. Being afraid. How many of you guys find yourself in that position, like she was brave enough to admit to being in that situation? How many of you guys are afraid of hurting the relationship that you might have with someone? Being self-conscious about what they might think. Holding me back, intimidation. I love that. How do I prove what they buy from Amazon is not our stuff? Well, that's more of a compliance thing, but we can touch on that pretty quickly. How to overcome my primary job interfering with networking? There we go. Now they're flowing. It took one person. Look what you started. I know this may be vague, but addressing the personal conflicts, drama within the organization. Love that. How to continue follow up on social media when the prospects stop responding. Love that. All right, you guys, keep any questions you got coming in. I'm writing these down in my notebook right now. These are amazing, amazing questions and amazing topics to touch on. Time management is a great, great topic. Everyone is suffering from some sort of time management, especially in network marketing. Still not understanding the compensation plan. I think you've got some upline in here that will be reaching out to you shortly after this call to have a quick phone call, but there's some things we can talk on there. I appreciate you guys writing this in here. Sometimes this takes a minute. It takes, you've got all these things in your head and you don't want to put them out there. But I really think by putting them out there, we can really make some magic happen. All right. Keep them coming in, you guys. I'm going to kind of hop on here. Let's hop out of this. I want to start addressing some of these now. So let's start with, the pyramid scheme one. This is how not to be salesy. Great one, Julie. That's awesome. How not to be salesy is a great one. Not salesy. I always tell people all the time when it comes to network marketing, you should never feel like you're selling anything. I always tell people we're not salesmen in network marketing. Network marketers are not salesmen. They're two things. They're professional relationship builders and they're professional door openers. Those are the two things that they're best at. And the salesy piece with the pyramid scheme thing coming into place, the biggest way to overcome the pyramid scheme conversation is very simple. I mean, depending on how deep they want to go, one of my favorite phrases, this is one of the best quotes you can ever write down ever, but there's one catch to network marketing. There's only one catch. And if you're able to accept this catch of network marketing and be hungry and coachable, you can find success. But the one catch is you have to be willing to accept a temporary loss. Again, you have to be willing to accept a temporary loss of social esteem from ignorant people. You have to be willing to accept the temporary loss of social esteem from ignorant people. It's just something about what we do. The uneducated, the unaware, the uninformed will look down upon what you're doing, and you just have to be willing to accept the loss of social esteem from that ignorance. There are going to be people that no matter how much validation you give them are still going to come back at you with skepticism. I would invite you to get very familiar with the law of association. The law of association dictates that you will become the average of the 5 people that you spend the most time with. That is a fact. If you're spending time around people that are putting a hindrance upon your dreams and a hindrance upon your goals, maybe it's time that you start spending some time around some different people. And that's a hard thing to do. I had to do it personally in my life. I had friends that I had for 15 years in my life. They weren't growing me. They weren't serving. They're great people. I love them to death. But I had to remove them from my 5 in order for me to grow to the places that I need to go to. But ultimately, at the end of the day, what I tell people all the time is very simply, if someone comes at me with a pyramid scheme, my father always told this to me. He would always say, you know what, Taylor, hurting people hurt. That's what they do. Hurting people will hurt. So the second that I see someone that comes up to me and says, you're a part of that pyramid scheme or you're part of something like that, I instantly go into a phase where I'm like, you must have an unbelievable horror story with a really crazy company. I would love to hear what went so wrong for you to be so burned out and so angry about this profession, for you to talk about it like this. Tell me your story. Tell me what happened. Because there have been things that have happened in the past. It's very important not to get so bravado and defensive all the time of your profession. Sometimes people have been a part of it and had a very bad experience for one reason or another. It's very important that you be the open heart that says, tell me your story. Tell me, did something really bad happen in your world? Because I would really love to know what happened. But ultimately, if they don't know anything about network marketing, it's very simple to say, well, for the uneducated person, I can understand where there would be some skepticism. But doesn't it make sense at the end of the day for a business that is looking to get their product to the masses, instead of spending 50% of their revenue that they're going to generate on ad space and promotions and commercials and newspaper, magazines, whatever it might be, instead of doing that, they take it and they pay it out in a form of compensation to independent distributors that spread their product or service via word of mouth. Now, I can understand where you would say, pyramid scheme, the definition of a pyramid scheme is an organization in which there is no customers, an organization where everyone is only benefiting off of the person above or the person below them. There's no one that's actually using the product or service with any value. At LifeVantage, we're blessed to know that over 80% of our organization is built up of customers, built up of people that have no interest in earning a residual income with us whatsoever. They are strictly here because they love taking our products every single day. That's an unbelievable thing to know. And so when it comes to the pyramid scheme conversation, I personally am kind of immune to it because I've have a lifetime's worth of experience overcoming it. And I've seen the most successful people in the world. So I know there's validity in our profession. I know it. I know the millions and hundreds of millions of dollars that get paid out in commissions on a monthly basis worldwide. There's incredible validity in the network marketing space. And so it's a little bit a matter of you kind of having your defining moment, having your bulletproof moment. What is that moment going to be for you? It's going to be a moment in which someone, approaches you and says, because of you, and because of your courage to go share this with someone and to go open the door to an opportunity to someone, that it got to me. And because it got to me, my life is forever going to be changed because you had the courage to reach out to someone. Once you have a few people in your life that start to really come around you with that kind of excitement, you become the rock in the river. You become Kevlar. I tell people all the time, I am literally like a Kevlar vest when it comes to LifeVantage. I am bulletproof. You couldn't touch me if you wanted to. You couldn't even try. And so I invite anyone on this call that's suffering from any lack of confidence, any lack of passion, any lack of excitement, steal some of mine, because I've got plenty to spare. And I'll tell you guys, if you just embody that excitement when you're talking to people, but you remove, there's a very important caveat here. Have the excitement, but remove the expectation. Tony Robbins gave me the best advice I've ever gotten in my entire life. He told me, Taylor, if you can find a way to trade your expectations for appreciation, your entire life will change overnight. He said, from a very early age, we're programmed to live in a world of expectation. From the moment we wake up till the moment we go to sleep at night, we are programmed to live in expectation. And he said, what a falsity to live in a state when the reality is 99% of all expectations are never met with reality. So why would we live in that space? And so I spent a year of my life doing everything in my power to remove the expectation out of my world and replace it with appreciation. Very little of anything that I do in my life has any expectation tied to it. Just about everything that I do in my life has appreciation tied into it. And what I found is that by applying these principles, and especially in your businesses, when you're going out and recruiting, when you're going out and prospecting, when you're going out and building relationships, how important it is to remove the expectation. People can feel, sense, smell ulterior motives from a mile away. So if you're coming to them with this sense of ulterior motive of, I'm going to, really try to be their friend, but at the end of the day, I really want them to join my business. What I'm telling you guys is that can be smelt and felt a mile away. That's when it feels salesy. That's when it feels gross. But if you have a real relationship and someone presents you with a real problem, and I tell people all the time, LifeVantage is the solution to an endless amount of problems. Never pigeonhole this opportunity to this is only for this kind of person or this kind of person. We have an endless solution to an endless amount of problems. And so I tell people all the time, until you know the real solution, you can't offer, or the real problem, you can't offer a real solution. And real problems are only given to real friends and people you have real relationships with. So when you're building these relationships and you're having these conversations and someone presents you with a real problem, how important is it to take that minute, take that time to be aware? I always say when someone lets you into their life, respect that. When someone shares a problem with you, that isn't an instant moment for you to throw up about your opportunity on them right back. That's a moment to build a relationship, to be there for a friend. And then maybe a day later, you reach out to them and you say, Julie, you mentioned something to me yesterday and I wasn't able to sleep last night. I've been thinking about it all night. And honestly, you shared a couple problems with me that I genuinely believe I might have a solution for. Yes, no, we're indifferent. I could care less what it is your answer is going to be, but I genuinely believe that I have something that might benefit your life. It's when you remove the expectation, you guys, that you will really start to see real relationships getting built and real momentum starting to happen. How to reignite, to go into how to reignite a stalled business. I will tell everyone all the time, Darren Jensen said this from stage. He said it from stage, you guys. At the end of the day, you need to find a way to stay in producer mode. So many people, no matter how big your team or how small your team might be, at some point or another, finds themselves transitioning from producer to, oh, my team needs me. I got to be there for them. I got to take all the calls and I got to put out all the fires and I got to, do all the three-ways and I got to do everything. So you step into manager mode. The fastest way to reignite a stalled business is to go on a 90-day blitz, is to go back into producer mode, to lead by example, to show your team what a leader really is. At the end of the day, your team and your organization is watching you. They're watching you. If you go into manager mode, you will watch your team very quickly transition into manager mode with you. At certain stages of business, obviously this takes a little bit, this is all very situational. Obviously for people like Mark and Krista and Julie, obviously there's some people when your organization gets to a certain volume and certain size where you are going to have to play a little bit of both hats. You're going to have to do a little bit of manager but you're going to want to stay as long as you possibly can in producer mode. The people that I know in this profession that have found success for the longest periods of time, Jeff Roberti's with a little company called Juice Plus, arguably the most successful network marketer in history with over $100 million verified in commissionable earnings. Jeff Roberti, there is not an event I have ever been to in my entire life that he has been at where he has not sat in the very front row and taken an entire notebook's worth of notes. There's nobody that has more of an excuse to step back and say, I've heard it all 1,000 times than him. But he is a person that will always say that in every talk, in every Zoom, in every call I do, there is always going to be, I don't care if I've heard it 100 times, there could be new information in there that I'm going to take out. But what an example to his team. Why do you think he has the organization that he has? Why do you think people like Sean and Michelle Poe or Skip Campbell or Blue Elam, why do you think these guys have organizations like they do? It's because they stay in producer mode, because they continue to run. I mean, for goodness sakes, Blue Elam, in the face of everything that him and his family have gone through, for him to continue to stay in producer mode and continue to pour value onto his team. I mean, all excuses feel pretty null and void in that point when you see someone like that and what that family has gone through, and on the other end, for them to continue to be pouring in producer mode. So the fastest way I could ever tell you to reignite a stalled business, go on the 90-day blitz. You know, do a 20 and 30. You know, I mean, the 20 and 30 plan my father has on Network Marketing Pro, it's a great plan. It's recruiting 20 people in 30 days. There's a whole structure for it. There's a whole outline for it. It's a great system. If you want to reignite, if you want to, you know, run, we'll get into this a little bit later when it comes to momentum and how to really capitalize on that. But honestly, it's going to take a reignition of you. It's going to take a reignition of you going back into producer mode. I can't remember who said it, but a great excuse, being afraid of hurting relationships. We already talked about this a little bit. Honestly, you could never hurt a relationship if you're coming from a place of love. You can never hurt a relationship if you come from a place of no expectation. You just can't. If you're offering a genuine solution to a real problem and a real person in your life, in your life, and you release the expectation, yes, no, or indifferent. One of my favorite quotes in network marketing: marry the process, divorce the result. Marry the process and divorce the result. Jim Rohn has another one of my favorite quotes, and he says, set a goal to become a millionaire in network marketing. Sorry about that. I got a phone call came in. Set a goal to become a millionaire in network marketing. Not for what the $1 million will do for you, but what it will make of you to achieve it. In network marketing, the only way you can earn a 7-figure income is by blessing the lives of thousands of people. If my volume's coming in and out, I apologize. I had a call that came in, so that might have dulled it down. And if it still continues that way, let me know. Just put a little comment in there. I apologize about that. But honestly, you guys, marry the process and divorce the result. Still low. I apologize. Let's see here. I've got it on full blast on my end. Let us see. Can you guys hear me okay? Okay, good. Sorry about that. I just want to make sure before I go forward. Yeah, you really can't hurt a relationship if you're coming from a place of love. You just can't. I tell people all the time, but it's when you replace that real love with expectation and ulterior motives that you do genuinely have the opportunity to hurt a relationship. One of the quickest ways, I tell people all the time, I get this question and we can cover it now because I don't know if it's in there, but a lot of times people come to me and they say, you know, how do I go to a warm market that I've already burnt out? You know, I've already gone to them and I've kind of thrown up all over them and I've kind of, you know, got them all angry at me. How do I go back to those people? And a lot of the times it's purely a matter of apologizing in a very, very clear way. You know, I threw all over Mark early on. I could call Mark up and say, look, Mark, I just need you to know, about 3 months ago, I got started in a business and I was so wildly excited about it that I really, you know, I didn't do my due diligence. I didn't really learn the proper steps on how to inform people or educate people about what I was doing. And I really feel like I took advantage of our friendship, and I shouldn't have done that. And I apologize. I was like I said, genuinely excited. It didn't come from a place of you know, negativity. It didn't come from a place of wanting to hurt you. It purely came from a place of excitement. And I genuinely, if you ever want to have the opportunity, if we could ever sit down and talk, I've learned a lot, and I think I could do a lot better job of explaining to you what this is without all the ulterior motives and all the expectations and all the gross stuff. You know, if you'd ever be willing to sit down, I really would. But if you wouldn't, ultimately, I want you to know that our friendship doesn't hinge on you joining my business and that our relationship matters more to me than that. You can very easily make that call with your anyone that you've burnt out before, and that bridge will instantly be rebuilt, instantly. And so a lot of people fear that. They're like, oh, I haven't talked to my aunt in like 6 months because, you know, I mean, we talked every day until I talked to her about LifeVantage. Now we don't talk at all anymore. It's weird, you know. It's easy to have that call and to rebuild that bridge. how to overcome my primary job interfering with networking, with my networking time. This is a great question. I tell people all the time, there's a great podcast. And you know, I don't have any bias to my father at all. I only promote some stuff that I find very big value in. But my father does have a podcast called Go Pro with Worre. And on that podcast, there's one in very specifically that if you would like to take an hour out of your life, you would find amazing value in, and it's called How to Be Successful in Network Marketing with Jim Rohn. This training was done 25 years ago and released via this podcast for the first time ever for free. So you guys can, for the first time ever via that podcast, go listen to that training. And a lot of what Jim Rohn talks about is the power of part-time in network marketing, the power of your story in network marketing when you are doing it part-time. You know, how much he urges people to stay in part-time as long as possible. But there is a time management piece to that. There is a piece that I tell people all the time. You need to be very purposeful building your future, building your fortune for your future. You know, you can build your wage all day long, but you need to be very purposeful when you build your future. And that's done in the cracks of your life. That's a great thing about network marketing is you can build this business in the cracks of your life. You know, I don't know very many people that truly put 40 hours a week into building a network marketing business. I don't think people really understand what 40 hours a week of income producing activity looks like in network marketing. It is a lot. I say all the time, dedicate, if you're just getting started and you have a full-time business and you're building your fortune, dedicate as much time as you can, but 5 hours a week is enough. If it's purposeful, but with those hours, you need to be strategic. I tell people all the time, it's a matter of getting a calendar on your phone, on a big, you know, calendar on your desk, whatever works best for you. But you need to be strategic with those hours, because what I found is if you're not strategic with those hours, they will get replaced with everything else. You'll have an hour blocked out in your head. You're going to say, tonight from 6 to 7, I'm making calls, I'm doing it. But you haven't told anyone else in your life. Your family doesn't know about it. You know, it's just in your head when you plan to go. And then, you know, the kid needs attention, or, you know, your husband's running late. You got to get dinner ready, or, you know, whatever comes up. You know, you get a call from work and you got to run in, or a family emergency happens, whatever happens. What I will tell you is that the excuses will find their way into your life if you allow them to. But it's when you become bulletproof with your business is when you'll see real results. So you need to get purposeful, and you need to inform your family of what you're doing. I think this is a big thing that is missed a lot, is informing your family, letting your kids know, letting your spouse know, informing them and saying, you guys, look, I'm going to be, you know, in my free time, I'm going to really be building something. I'm very excited about this. And I truly believe that this could be, you know, some answers to our prayers. I think this could be an opportunity for us to live a life like we never dreamed of. And in order for me to do that, I'm going to need to put some hours into this. I'm going to need your help. I'm going to need your support, husband or wife. I'm going to need to know that when I'm in my office doing my work, that you're going to be able to take care of the kids, that you're going to be able to take care of the dog, that you're going to be able to take care of the odds and ends around the house, and that I'm not going to be interrupted 30 times in 1 hour. You know, I'm going to be able to actually make some phone calls. I found that if you have that conversation up front, a lot of the times it's met with, all right, let's do this. I got your back. But if you go at it with this, you know, just I'm going to go try to lock myself in my office for an hour and not tell anyone what I'm doing, a lot of the times you're just going to get interrupted over and over and over again. So you need to be purposeful. And this goes straight into time management. You need to be purposeful with your time. Purposeful. Whatever that time is going to be purposeful with it. Make sure that it is income producing activity. Scrolling on Facebook is not income producing activity. Income producing activities are exposing this business to new people, building relationships with people with the intention of exposing the business to them at some point when the opportunity is right. Doing three-way calls for those in your team, doing in-home meetings or Zoom calls, whatever they might be. That is income producing activity. If you're still not understanding the comp plan, there's amazing videos out there. If you're not understanding the comp plan, I'll tell you guys very clearly, you have an amazing upline. You have incredible upline. If there's any parts that you're confused on, you have an amazing team behind you. Obviously, you guys have seen it. If you haven't, just Google LifeVantage Comp Plan Dave Fleming. Dave Fleming is our Senior Vice President of Field Development. He is an unbelievable resource and a comp plan genius. Dave Fleming did an amazing video that walks you through step-by-step our compensation plan. For those of you that are more visual and don't want to see it on a paper format, that will walk you through step-by-step. And it is an incredible resource for any brand new people that you're bringing in that might need that extra, 15, 20 minutes of research and studying to understand how it is that we get paid here at LifeVantage. So I want to step into the chat bot for just a minute and see some of these new questions that have come in. Why did I choose LifeVantage? That's a fun one. When your prospect shows initial interest, then goes cold and stops communicating with you. That happens. Real relationships is always paramount. Yes. Distributors and customers who lose interest and quit despite me keeping them involved. That is a great, great topic. What I'll tell you guys is that listen to that Jim Rohn podcast. Just listen to that podcast, please. How to be successful in network marketing with Jim Rohn. Go pro with Eric Worre. Go download the podcast and listen to it tonight. He tells the story of the seed and the sower. And it's such an unbelievable story. I'm not going to get into the full story, but the basic story of the seed and the sower is he says there was an ambitious sower. And that ambitious sower had great seed. The ambitious sower is you. Brand new opportunity, very excited. And the ambitious sower had great seed. That great seed is LifeVantage, an unbelievable seed. And along his path to get to where he was going to plant that seed, he lost some seed, fell out of the bag along the way. It was picked up by the crows and flown off. Now, what Jim Rohn says, and only Jim Rohn can say this in Jim Rohn style, he says, what are you going to do? Are you going to go chase the crows? He goes, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't subscribe to that methodology if I was you. You need to get really good with an amazing phrase for all of you that are having a hard time with people leaving your business. An incredible phrase, one sentence, 3 words. Isn't that interesting? Isn't that interesting? What Jim Rohn says is if you get very good at understanding that some will, some won't, so what? And even those that do come in and crush it in your business, some will only crush it to 40% of their capability. Some will crush it to 80%, and some will crush it to 100%. But along the way, you will lose a lot. This is a game of numbers. It's a game of, it really is. When you look at the numbers being blessed, lives that you can bless, that's really what this boils down to with LifeVantage. You ask why I joined LifeVantage? I was looking for 5 things when I joined LifeVantage. Very, very simply, 5 things. I was looking for a company that had unbelievable products. Products that were different from everything else. That they weren't Me Too products. I couldn't go get them in a GNC or a Target or a Walmart. I wanted something with validation. I wanted something with published medical studies done on the products, not just the ingredients. In network marketing, a lot of companies are very, very proud of all the studies that they can show you on the ingredients within their products. To have over 20 published medical studies on PubMed.gov verifying and validating the incredible power that we have with our LifeVantage products, being Protan and NRF2, and the entirety of the other products, all the other products that we have at LifeVantage. To know that we have a smart energy drink that works to give mental clarity in ways. I tell people all the time, I drink roughly 6 Axios a day. No joke. I go through some Axio. But for me, it delivers mental clarity in a way that you could not imagine for me. Not in any like bragging way, but I've been on, 6 hours of very high level phone calls today. Without my Axio, my brain would be dead. I wouldn't be able to communicate to you guys the way that I want to right now. It just wouldn't happen. Axio is a game changer for me, and it should be for you guys as well. That is an instant gratification product. That is an amazing, talking about living in an instant gratification world. Axio is a product that you can give to just about anyone and they will feel something. It is amazing. I love Axio. As far as the mental clarity, it's amazing. So the products, it's really what was a big deal for me. And everyone on this call is very, very well aware of the validity of LifeVantage's products. But the next thing that I looked at was the corporate team. All 5 of these things are equally important. The corporate team was wildly important. And it's important for all of you, new and old, to understand that the corporate team at LifeVantage is without a doubt, and I think everyone on the corporate team would say this as well, the most knowledgeable and wise corporate team I have ever had the honor of working with in my entire life. Darren Jensen, in the 4 years that he has been with this company, has put together the most incredible team that you guys could ever have at your back. To know from Darren Jensen to Justin Rose to Callie Mott, Kelly Rich, the entire field development team, Dave Fleming, Skylar, Colton, Steve, Nori, all the people that you guys talk to on a regular basis. To know that in the top 20 executives of LifeVantage, there's over 350 years of combined network marketing experience. To know that you guys are being ran by a company that has dedicated their lives to this profession, and not just dedicated their lives to getting along in the profession, but to being trendsetters within the profession. Some of you guys have seen in the last 6 to 12 months how sexy it is to be a biohacker. Everyone wants to be a biohacker now. Fitbit, if you have a Fitbit on your wrist, you're a biohacker. I mean, if you're doing certain diets now, they're calling themselves biohackers. We were biohackers before biohackers were sexy. So what I'll tell you guys is the corporate team is as solid as it could possibly be. And I am just one cog in a 200-wheel machine. But you can know wholeheartedly that every one of those 200 cogs is working with your best interest at heart. They are working to offer and to remove any roadblock they can out of your way, to remove any speed bumps, and to only make this business easier for you to find success. There's nothing greater than you could have at your back than the corporate team of LifeVantage. The next thing that I looked at was the field. I needed to have a field culture that was going to be different. And what I found with LifeVantage was just that. In my entire life, I have never seen a field culture quite like LifeVantage. The amount of servant leadership, the amount of people that are here for the right reasons. My favorite quote of Darren Jensen's at my first Elite Academy: "We are not a bikinis and Lamborghinis kind of company, people. If you're here to show off your fancy car and your big house and all that stuff, we're not the right opportunity for you. But if you're here for legacy, if you're here for time freedom, if you're here to leave this planet better than when you got here, and to be able to offer your children or your family or anyone that's going to come behind you a chance to make this world better based on your efforts, then LifeVantage might be the home for you." The field culture, I love the fact that we are over 80% customer base. I love the fact that 90% of our top elite leadership is built up of people that have never done network marketing before. First-time network marketers. People that have gone through the trenches for the last 8 to 10 years. People that have paved the way for those of you that are new within the last 12 months of LifeVantage to be able to have the opportunity that you have at your fingertips. The field culture here at LifeVantage is like nothing I've ever seen before. It is truly based on servant leadership. And that is a large part, and in part, to our compensation plan. Our compensation plan incentivizes those elites to work as a family and not to work as this is my team and that's your team. Never in any company have I ever seen anything like that, where everyone wants to work together. It's beautiful. The last 2 things that I looked at were opportunity and timing. I was looking for the company that was at the right opportunity and the right timing. And what I can tell everyone on this call is over the last year and a half, I have been validated time and time again that this is so much greater than I ever could have imagined possible. For those of you to understand that this last year has been fun. It's been a lot of fun growth, a lot of big rank advancements, a lot of great things happening. But this has not been momentum. This is not what momentum looks like. This is pre-momentum. To understand that where we are going, where you are going to help us go, this next year to 3 years of LifeVantage will genuinely be some of the most beautiful. We are going to be the story of network marketing in 2019 and 2020. It's important that you guys understand that. It is my job to know what is going on all around our profession. I'll tell you guys right now, whispers are going around and everyone is talking about LifeVantage. What's going on there? What are they doing? What's going on with all this growth? And, you know, oh my gosh, I mean, they just opened Spain. It's going like crazy. It's a great new market. I mean, huge new leaders in Australia and over in Asia. And, you know, I mean, Canada's, I mean, it's people are whispering. But what I'll tell everyone on this call, and this is a very, very serious piece to this. This is a big caveat. The wave of momentum that is fastly approaching LifeVantage is reserved. It's not for everybody. I wish it was, but it's not. The wave of momentum is reserved for those that are willing to accept a season of discomfort, for those that are going to be willing to step outside of their comfort zone for just a brief season, to walk boldly into the fear that is building a network marketing business and to do it proudly. What I'll tell you guys is there's the very, very big moment at hand. A very big moment. You guys all have the ability. 1 year from now, you have the ability to be in a completely different space, but it is going to take you stepping out of your comfort zone. Fear is simply a misunderstanding of the unknown. It's incredibly fearful to go talk to some of the people that you're intimidated to talk to, thinking they might not need it. They're already successful. You're thinking about it the wrong way. You're thinking about it from an expectation point of view. If you look at what we have, which is being quoted as potentially one of the biggest medical science breakthroughs in history, then it is the biggest blessing we could ever have to be able to go and share it with the world appropriately. The biggest blessing. But it's done when it's done right, without expectation, with love in your heart, with for the people in your business that you know that you want to work with. So I'm excited for all of you guys. I want to see if there's any other. I want to make sure that I try to touch on all the questions. Let's see here. I think we've touched on most of it. A lot of the other stuff, you guys, is really going to be, let's see here. You know, buying the stuff from Amazon, you know, I mean, that is really, I mean, at the end of the day, it's important that you guys, there we go. It's important that you guys know with the Amazon stuff that our compliance team is working diligently on a daily basis to try and resolve all of those issues. Your best thing that you can tell people at the end of the day is look, if you want to get it from them, that's fine, but there is no guarantee with those products. A lot of those products have been delivered and the safety seal has been already removed, so you have no idea what you're actually getting. And if it's that important to you to save $2 and you want to take that risk, then that's really going to be ultimately your choice. But it's my job to educate you, to let you know that's really not a safe bet to go. It's a really dangerous way to go about it. That there is no guarantee of any of these products' validity when gotten through that resource or that source. And so it's just, you know, it's just being honest with those people. And ultimately, you know, you can't really control what people are going to do. If people ghost you, would you agree just to move on? Of course. Doesn't mean you can't follow up with them every once in a while. Doesn't mean that you can't touch base with them every once in a while. And there's different, you know, schools of thought here. But ultimately, if you know, this business is not going to be for everyone. As much as you might think this might be the perfect fit for your next door neighbor, or for your sister, or for your best friend, this business isn't going to be for everyone. And that's something that you have to understand. That your job is to present a genuine solution to a real problem when you've been given one. Yes, no, or indifferent is not your concern. It's really not. A lot of people have a hard time closing, and that's just a matter of just asking people at the end of the day, do you find validity in what I've shared with you? Did you see what I saw? What are some of your favorite things that you saw about what I showed you? Would you be interested in taking these products, the supplements? Do you want to get started? Would you like me to get you on as a preferred customer so you can get a discount on the products? Or do you see the business opportunity here and you see that there's an opportunity to make a real life residual income here at LifeVantage? If so, I can show you how. I can break it down for you. It's not easy. I tell people all the time, that's the number one thing that is hindering our profession as a whole, is the unrealistic expectation that's given to the brand new distributor. Because you're so desperate to have them in your business, you're going to do everything. I'll be there for you 24/7. I'll help you with any call you need. I'll middle of the night, you call me. I got your back. I'm going to help build your whole team for you. I'm going to do everything. We'll do it together, locking arms. Let's rock and roll. If you're not going to do that, then don't say that. If you're not going to be there, then don't say that. That's very unrealistic to say those kind of things. What's realistic to say is, look, I'm learning how to build this business too. I'm learning by doing. And so by doing is with sharing with you, and you've caught fire too. At the end of the day, I'm going to give you as much time as I can, but I'm doing this too. We're all building. We're all going out there. Our job is to stay in producer mode. My job is to not be your manager. You're not my employee. So let's work together. Let's lock arms. Let's do this together and understand that when I'm able to be there for you, I'll be there for you. If it's three-way calls, if it's income producing activity, I will do my best to be there for you at all times. But I'm not your problem solver because I don't know all the answers to the problem. We're going to have to find them out together. So ultimately, we're going to have to do a lot of this. A real network marketing professional and influencer is a problem solver. They're consistent. They'll create action where action wasn't. They have big vision. So that is what you want to find. And you can only find that by setting the proper expectation. So if there's any other questions, I'd love to answer them. If not, you guys, I hope that this brought you some value. I was trying to go through and see if there's anything else that I could answer in here. Addressing personal conflicts or drama within the organization. That's a great one. Real quick, we can talk on that before we finish up. But if you ever have any drama in your organization, the best thing you can do very quickly is separate it. Separate it from the group. If it's happening within a group, take it offline as quickly as possible. And then you just need to have that conversation. I think a lot of the times, the real reality of it is a lot of people come into network marketing with an employee-based mindset. I ask people all the time, are you sure you're an entrepreneur, or are you an employee? Entrepreneurs will jump off the cliff and build their wings on the way down. Employees need structure and need to be told what to do all day, every day. Do you need to be told what to do all day, every day? Because that's not what we signed up for. That's not what this is. I can help get you started. Sure. I'm not going to leave you hanging. But ultimately, my job is not to give you a job every day. My job is not to say, okay, Julie, are you going to go out and talk to 5 people? And then once you're done, let's follow up. I want to hear how your calls went. And then, if we're going to do 3 ways with them together, and then we're going to get them to, we're all independent business owners here. And so it's important to keep that in mind. It's really important to keep that in mind. Then when it comes to the drama, that's what a lot of the drama comes from, honestly, is, someone's not following my way of thinking. Someone's not doing it my way. Someone's going out on their own and doing something the way that they shouldn't be doing it. It doesn't follow the system. And so it causes some interpersonal conflict and drama. The reality is we are all independent business owners. Mark is going to get Mark's 1099 and do Mark's taxes. Mark isn't getting Julie's and Barbara's and everyone else's, tax information and paying all their taxes. He's not a boss to you guys. He's an independent business owner, just like everyone else is. So that's kind of a harsh reality. A lot of people need that kind of kick in the butt sometimes. is to say, am I living in an employee mind state of mind? You know, am I living in that space where I need to be told what to do every day, all day, or else I just am not that productive? But when I'm told what to do, I'm super productive. I get it done when I'm told what to do. Some people need to stop for a minute and realize that that's not an entrepreneur. Entrepreneur is going to go out there and they're going to create action where action would not have been created. And so, so you guys, I appreciate you so much. Like I said, I hope that this brought you some value tonight. I really appreciate you guys taking an hour out of your nights. If you guys ever need access to me, of course you have access to me. I invite anyone, if you ever need me for anything, if I can ever be a blessing to your life, my email is very simple. Worre@LifeVantage.com. TWORRE@LifeVantage.com. It is my honor to serve you in any way that I possibly can. Obviously, I do run and work in the red carpet program. So if you are ever working with any seasoned network marketing professionals from another company that you might be friends with that say, hey, you know, I'm no longer with X company and I've been taking a look at LifeVantage. Can you show me what you got? You know, and if they are verified six-figure earners within the profession, that is who I work with on a daily basis and bringing to the table at LifeVantage. And so if you ever need me for that or anything else, if I can ever bless your life or be a bright spot in your life in any way, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. Again, Julie, I appreciate you so much setting this call up and making this happen. Again, I hope this brought some value to you guys. And I really look forward to hopefully seeing every one of you at Elite Academy in Kansas coming up here in just a couple months. It's going to be the 10-year anniversary of LifeVantage. Huge celebration. I mean, it is going to be like nothing you've ever seen before. If you've attended an Elite Academy before, you haven't attended anything like what we're going to be doing at this event. So make sure that not only you are there, but your teams are there. Make sure that you're there. And then when you get there, you find me and you come up and you give me a big hug and we get to talk about your life and I get to meet you in person. But for all of you on the call, I really appreciate you taking time out of your night. Thank you so much for being present this evening. And again, don't hesitate to email me or reach out to me if there's anything that I can ever do to bless you.
Thank you so much, Taylor. You definitely brought us so much value tonight. You've been a huge blessing. And I just want to thank you so much for joining the LifeVantage family. I mean, we love having you part of the family. We love all that you contribute to our company. It's been a fantastic evening. And so thanks so much. And Mark, I just want to turn it over to you to close us out tonight.
Yeah, I see my wife may be unmuting herself to comment as well. But Taylor, I'm going to impose on you real quick. I know we're wrapping up, but we have something so special, and we've got friends now in network marketing. If let's say hypothetically that we have a friend or someone within our circle of influence that actually is in another network marketing company, could you comment on that just real quickly? Because I know that's a really tricky dynamic in that. Would you just comment on that before we let you go?
Of course, it most certainly is. And I tell people all the time, we at LifeVantage, I'll tell you what we are not, and then I'll tell you what we are. We are not poachers at LifeVantage. We are never, and I'm not saying Mark is obviously the opposite of that. I know you're not, but ultimately, I tell people all the time, if LifeVantage is the only company that wins, that succeeds, we lose. We need lots of great network marketing companies out there to continue to elevate our profession as a whole. But what I will tell you is that ultimately there are companies every day that are going down, that are going out of business, that are so those relationships are important to make. A lot of ways that I've found to handle those relationships is by, again, removing the expectation, replacing it with appreciation. Say, for instance, Mark is a six-figure earner over at another company, and I've got a good relationship with him. I'm not looking to poach him at all, but I would like to let him know the validity of our products, let him know what we have. What I'd do is I'd call him up and I'd say, Mark, I'm putting something in the mail for you today. I'm not making you a preferred customer of mine. There's no expectation. Obviously, I know you're happy where you're at. I would never want you to come join my business. I know that you're doing great. But I do believe in these products that we have at LifeVantage. And from the validity of what we've seen, I mean, the fact of the matter is most of the top 1% of the entire network marketing profession is taking Pro Tandem on a daily basis. So there is validity in what we have. So I would say what I'm sending you is a vitality stack. I just want you and you take it for a month as a gift from me to you, because I genuinely believe that this will bring positivity to your life in more ways than one. And send them some product. Because what I will tell you is what we are at LifeVantage is what my goal with the Red Carpet program to be is my goal is for us to be a lighthouse. My goal is to be a place of safe haven for those that are incurring rough seas, for those that are either floating around and don't have a place to go, and are just, that they're just, I got burned in my last company, I don't know where to go, or they're on a sinking ship and they need somewhere to come to be safe for a last final run. Then that is what we are. That is what we are. We are a place of safe haven. We are a lighthouse for those that need us to be. And yes, if they're with another supplement company, do you know how many people I've sent vitality stacks to that are happily with another supplement company? The fact is we are not a supplement company. We are a life activating company. We are a biohacking company. We are a company that can't really be touched in the world of supplements other than what we are is what we are. We just have it all. And we have it in spades. And so I tell people all the time, it doesn't hurt you at all. But if you send it with expectation, then it's gross. That is how you lose a great network marketing professional relationship. If you send it with, hey, check out this ABC primetime video, if you're ever unhappy, let me know and we'll make something happen. Don't do that. Remove the expectation. Appreciate these people. Understand that we have the greatest gift on this planet to give. And if we give it without expectation and we give it with appreciation, what if it took you? What if that person that you sent the vitality stack, what if it took them 3 years before they left their company and were no longer happy there to come over and completely explode your business? Would it be worth it to build an expectation or to build an expectationless relationship? I think it would be. And so ultimately, when it comes to those relationships, that's how I would approach them. Approach them without any poaching, approach them without any expectation, but get them some products in their hands and make sure they understand that there's no caveat to that at all, that there's no hidden agenda, that you didn't make them a PC, and I'm just sending you free product, but you're my new PC, let me know if you want to keep reordering. Just send it to them and say, hey, just wanted to love on you. I just thought this could bring real value to your life because it's brought real value to mine. And if it does, send me a little, not a referral, but send me a little testimonial. If you're okay with it, I'd love your testimonial. Your testimonial would mean more to me than you joining my business. But then you start building a real relationship based on real value. And then you have an opportunity that when the time comes and they say, hey, a year ago, you sent me that vitality stack and it was amazing. I felt crappy ever since I stopped taking it. I'm no longer, I want to take a look at what you have. That's when you call me. That's when you email me and you say, Taylor, I've got a great leader I'd love for you to get on the phone with. And that's when we hop on and we expose them to LifeVantage through the Red Carpet program. And so that is really the best way to go about that.
Thank you, brother. I had a feeling you would answer something similar to that. And for my part, and for that of my family, and for those amazing people that are on this call and in our team, I want to thank you and your dad and your grandmom for creating not only a functional platform of life transformation, but a beautiful one as well. Your family has done more to legitimize and elevate this amazing profession, I think, than many people know. And it's rarefied air. The people, Jim Rohn would be another one of those people that have.
He was an amazing man, yeah.
Yeah, and you guys, you're right in that same company. So thank your father for us as well. When you see him, give him a hug and a kiss. And we appreciate you, bro. And we're so blessed. We're so thankful that we found us, we found you, or you found us, or however that worked. And yeah, thank you so much for the time.
It's my greatest pleasure. I need to let everyone know on this call, if you don't know, between Julie White and Mark Harris, if you don't know what kind of leadership you have what kind of servant leadership you're a part of. You are part of such an unbelievable team within LifeVantage. To know that the team that you're a part of is built up of some of the biggest servant leaders on this planet. To know that you have so many resources at your disposal. To know that you have really everything that you could ever ask for when it comes to upline support. To know that there are people that have built unbelievably successful businesses with no upline support, and to know what you have at your fingertips. You guys, it is a moment that you need to take and run with now, because there are literally no excuses. The LifeVantage has done their best to eliminate all of them, and especially with the upline support that you have. And if you can find a way to remove those expectations, live in appreciation, the world is yours. It's at your fingertips. And I'm just so honored to be on this ride with you. I'm so excited to be here alongside of you, to be cheering you on and rooting you on every step of the way. And Mark, Julie, thank you guys so much. Every time I do these calls and I get to see all of these amazing people from Ken, that's been just tuned in the whole time, and Barbara, who's been tuned in the whole time, and David and his wife, who have been tuned in the whole time. I mean, I appreciate you guys. I really do. This is more to me than a job. This is my life. My grandmother is a distributor with this company. This is my life. I tell people all the time, I am bulletproof when it comes to this opportunity. And I hope that if you guys aren't yet, that you can find a way to become very soon. And so I'm just so proud of every one of you that are on this call. And I'm so excited for the potential of what 2019 could bring for your lives.
Thank you, brother. Babe, if you had anything, jump on in. Julie, otherwise, I'm going to kick it back over to you.
Okay. Well, this has just been lovely, and I am just feeling very blessed. I just want to thank everyone for being on here tonight, and hope you all just have a great rest of the week. Thanks again, Taylor. We love you. So that's it for now. Good night.
All right. Bye now. See you guys soon.
Good night, y'all.
Thanks, bro. Love you, man. Love y'all.
Love you guys.
Have a good week.
Bye now.